I need advice, Chief.
About the case?
About the suspects.
Tell me all about them.
Shall I grab the whiskey?
You always grab the whiskey.
I've always wondered, why is this bigger than the rest?
That's what I'm famous for.
That doesn't seem right.
That's because it ain't right, kid.
Must feel nice. Finally have it back, right?
Fools are leaving. Do you know what? I still can't believe it. Where did you find the jewel after all this time?
In that little casino where the phony likes to play king.
You're kidding. Been after him for years. You take him down, and you will prove you're one of the best detectives in the city.
Thanks, Chief. I figured we only needed one king.
I agree. So, who were your suspects?
The king's workers, surprisingly. Even his wife.
What? You reckon she was part of it all?
She was identified by another suspect. And she wanted a way out from her husband.
Seems you had motive.
She desired to be free, but stealing from her husband would have just angered him and made her life even worse.
Freedom's easy. Just let go of greed. Now that's the hard part.
My suspicion is that the phony and another person are engaged in some power-based game. All the other suspects, they claim they didn't know the jewel was in the casino when they entered. So who did?
It's good whiskey. So, start from the beginning.
The head of security. The king's knight, you could call him. He was the only one with access to the vault besides the phony himself. I just needed to know. Did he play the opening move? The jewel stolen from the king's treasury was found discovered in your casino. Want to tell me you didn't know it was there?
I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't know there was a jewel in there.
Really? The head of security doesn't even know what he's guarding.
Oh, because there's lots of things in there. And it's been a bad night.
So, why were the vault doors opened at 11 p.m? And why were they left open for another hour?
I don't know.
You're the only one with access to the vault besides the boss. You're the only one that could have opened it!
Okay, all right. I might remember something, but it's a bit of a blur.
Hit your head or something?
Yeah, I did.
Show me.
Before, actually.
What happened?
There's a woman. She came in the office and whacked me on the head.
Can you describe her features?
Yeah, she looked familiar. She was blonde, pretty tall for a bird. Wore expensive clothing. Yeah. She must have took my keys when she whacked me on the head.
Can you tell me what time this happened?
I don't know.
If you do not give me a straight answer, I'm going to charge you as an accomplice for the stolen jewel and for wasting my time.
It was around 11 p.m. I was in my office, like I said. I was just making sure everything's in order. And I heard a knock at the door. It must have been the most gorgeous girl that I've ever seen. Invited her in, show her how cool my job is, how important I am. Next thing I know, I wake up and realise I've been robbed.
So you were unconscious the entire time?
Yeah, she hit me with a wrench. Wasn't expecting it from a gorgeous girl like that.
And what were you expecting?
Well, a good night, not a bad one.
Your duty was to guard that vault with your life. There was over £500,000 in there, and you don't seem too upset that it's all gone. You're involved in this in some way, you must be.
No, I ain't. I'm telling you the truth, detective.
But you haven't got any evidence to back you up on anything?
No.
Okay. Say I believe you. Would you be able to identify this woman?
Yeah? Can't forget a face like that. She was still at the casino when you showed up.
Well, at least there's that. Show me what she looks like. And if you're lying and your stories don't match up, you and the phony you work for will see the real King's Wrath.
Bit dark, but clever technique, kid. Moving forward and applying pressure on the night. Allowed you to seize it, or obtain the necessary information.
That's right.
So, I'm assuming the woman he identified was the wife?
Exactly. In that coincidence.
Sometimes. You don't believe it to be the case?
I mean, out of all the women there, he chose her. If he knew who she was, he wouldn't have. Well, at least he wouldn't have told me.
His family, the phonies. His little nephew, estranged, by what I know. That's how he got the job. But everybody knows who the phony's wife is.
So why choose her? Unless she really was involved.
Maybe it's a sacrifice he's willing to make.
I think you might be right.
That's why chess is so important, kid. Everybody's playing a game. Using others as pawns and taking advantage of the moves they have. While there's still pieces to give, people will continue to make sacrifices till they're the last ones left. Just like your knight.
Yeah, I was just starting to believe him. I mean, not everything he said. I'm sure he made some stuff up just to make himself feel better.
Do you believe the wife?
Yeah. But she was the only one with motive.
Can I have a smoke?
Suspects aren't allowed to smoke in here.
You can't even offer me a little sympathy after how you dragged me in here.
There you go. Getting the royal treatment.
I don't even get a light. Oh. So you do know how to treat a lady.
Lady or not, you're still a suspect.
A suspect in what?
What do you know about the jewel, Mrs.
It's Queen.
You don't like his name, but you take the status you get from it.
I've always been a queen, darling. Long before I married him.
Marrying him not turned out the way you wanted it to?
You talk like you know everything. Is this your first investigation?
As detective.
You're honest. Yeah, not many people are. So tell me, why am I here?
The head of security identified you. He told me you stole his keys, knocked him unconscious, and opened the vaults.
And you believe that?
Well, that's why you're here. To see if he's telling the truth.
Based on what evidence, Rookie?
It's detective. And the man had no reason to lie.
Sounds like you have definitive proof.
Is that a confession?
You're funny, Rookie.
Once again, it's detective. So, what were you doing around 11 p.m. last night?
My usual thing.
What might that be?
I was in the manager's office with the king.
Were you alone with him?
Correct.
Awfully convenient. He's the one person we can't question or confirm about this.
I suppose marrying him did come with some perks.
You're not making this any easier on yourself.
Why would I want to rob my own husband?
Well, he stole the most precious thing from you, your freedom. And so you tried to steal the most precious thing from him, the jewel.
And what makes you think I don't have my freedom?
3 months ago, you were arrested trying to leave the country with an illegal passport. Seems to me you wanted to leave. So, if you had your freedom, why were you trying to escape?
I wanted to see more of the world, Detective.
So, you wanted to hurt him, and you needed the money. What's more, what reason does he have to lie?
People with any kind of power always lie.
The head of security identified you that night out of everyone. Surely the phony must tell everyone who his queen is.
He wanted the status for himself. So women would throw themselves at him with a chance to be the queen.
Were you one of those women?
I was not. You have to earn a woman like me.
So why did you marry him?
I knew from a young age that I never needed a man. But when the game is rigged for a king, I had to be a queen. He seemed different from the rest. He seemed to want change. Our love was like a romance turned into a horror. Like a puppet on a string. He did take my freedom. In the shape of a diamond ring. But I couldn't make my move no matter where I was. And I certainly did a whack-a-man.
You say you were in the manager's office all night, but he claims he saw you out of everyone else that night. How can you explain that?
I didn't say I was there all night. I do have to make sure the casino's running properly.
But you mean with all the illegal gambling?
Have you got evidence for that as well?
The jewel is plenty of evidence.
I've only ever seen that jewel in the newspapers.
So you're telling me you didn't know it was there?
All the king's possessions, myself included, he keeps hidden away. A jewel of that importance, well, he wouldn't tell a soul, especially me. He needed to feel like there was no one better than him, including the monarch of our country.
Surely.
It's been a real pleasure speaking with you. But you and I both know you can't keep me here forever without any evidence. Rookie.
It's detective.
It may seem as though the Queen holds all the power. She can move wherever she likes. But the game doesn't end with her. It ends when we take down the King. But she certainly enjoyed constantly putting you into check.
Yeah, I didn't enjoy it one bit.
But got to tell the truth.
The truth made me believe that it was her. I mean, it was just a hunch of mine. But a man like her husband, being the way he is, a monster, I think anyone would do anything to be free in that situation.
People see freedom in their own way. If the Queen really was part of this, then her husband would hunt her down for the rest of her life.
But at least she'd be free to run in any way she wants.
And you think that's a sacrifice she's willing to make?
I did.
Change your mind?
She enjoyed toying with me.
Game's nearly over. Let's talk about the person making headlines everywhere.
He was bitter and angry about being used as a pawn to take the blame if he got caught. Luckily for me, I knew where and when he was going to be. Unluckily for him, he didn't understand the full importance of the King's Jewel.
The man of the hour.
Don't I get a lawyer?
A lawyer will not help your situation. Tell me who hired you.
Didn't ask. Didn't care.
So how do you know about the jewel?
I didn't.
So why did you have it?
It was there, so I took it.
Tell me about this job you were hired to do.
It was simple. Go in, grab everything, and leave.
Were you expecting us to be on you the moment you left the casino?
No. It was set up.
Set up by who?
By the man who hired me.
A man, eh? Why would he set you up?
Maybe he wanted everyone to know the jewel was in there.
How would that be beneficial?
Maybe somebody wanted the competition out of the picture. For good.
So why hire you?
I broke into a lot of places beforehand, including for the king himself.
You used to work for the phony.
Yeah. He owed me money.
Is that why you took the job?
Figured I'd take what I deserved.
What more can you tell me about this job?
What about it?
How were you contacted?
I heard about some guy who wanted to rob the king. I thought, what kind of maniac would do that? Then I realized it was the casino guy. Out of the blue, I receive a call. Tells me he's looking for me. Said I'm perfect for the job.
What more can you tell me about this man?
I never saw him, but I knew it was personal. Some kind of revenge type thing. And I needed my revenge too. I kept it quiet. Don't ask too many questions kind of deal.
How long were you planning this heist?
2 to 3 months.
He spent 2 to 3 months planning this.
He could have been planning it for years.
How much did he offer you?
Everything the casino had.
Everything. And you weren't alarmed?
Some people's pride is worth more than money.
And now you're here, so clearly your greed got the better of you.
It was a setup. It's clear as day.
So you say. Why?
He could have hired anyone to do the job. All I had to do was walk in there.
Did anyone see you as you went into the vault?
No. I walked in, grabbed everything, and walked out again.
All unnoticed?
Maybe I had some help with security. Or maybe there was a reason it was so easy.
So you get caught.
Now you're seeing it my way.
But if he wanted the jewel for himself, why would he set you up?
Maybe he wanted to know if the jewel was in there.
All this planning just on a hunch.
Look, maybe he knew, maybe he didn't. Does it matter?
I guess not. Did you have a way of contacting him?
He contacted me with dates and times and when I should make my move. He said to me, when this is all over, we'll both be winners.
So you played and you lost?
Exactly. I was used as a sacrificial piece in some arsehole's game.
I think I've got all I can from you. Unless you have anything else to say?
How important was that jewel?
It belonged to our monarch, the real king. It was to be placed on the centerpiece of his crown.
How much is it worth?
50 million.
Damn. Oh. Maybe I was wrong about it all.
Maybe you're right about everything.
Do you know what the beautiful thing about chess is? You lose. Somewhere on the line, you've made a mistake. It's a game based upon action. By being made to move forward, you are a step closer to your goal. But you open up your weakness as well. So you have to manage the path you take. But only by moving forward will you see the results of the game. But there are always a few sacrifices to be made.
But who hired the pawn? It wasn't Queen. Knight was too paranoid to plan anything this big. So who is the other king?
We may never know with what little evidence we have. But what I do know is, I've won. Checkmate.
That rookie detective of yours ain't half bad, is he?
The money, that's all in there. The game, it's not over yet. The king still remains. And you know he'll try and kill you if I don't get to him first.
And he'll still be free.
Kid, he's right about you.
And yet so clueless about you. One queen with two kings. Lucky me.
It's just a game of chess.